ACLU of Maine is really the main part of the ACLU, which is a nationwide organization with offices in every state and national offices in New York and DC. And we share a common mission that we've had for over 90 years, which is the protection of basic civil liberties and civil rights for everybody.
I joined when I was a graduate student. I was a graduate student at Cornell. This was in the 1970s, so I've been a member for, maybe 40 years. And that was the Nixon era, and civil rights were a very hot, important issue, and they haven't really seemed any less important since. So I've kept my membership up. That just moved from the New York chapter to the Maine chapter.
My daughter and I accompanied my husband to a trip to Washington, D.C. to show her the city. And at that time, I ran into a young woman. I was going to an art gallery or something, who stopped me and asked me about the ACLU. And I said, yeah, of course, I know all about it. So we got into a conversation, and I agreed that, yeah, I really did want to join. So I do. I pay $30 a month.
For me, a big thing is making sure teachers rely on us and consider us a credible resource, so they don't have to think twice. They just, every year, they shoot me an email and say, hey, John, you want to come into our school this year? And also making sure that that's an organizational connection, so that they're not saying, we want John, they're saying we want the ACLU.
For me, I think it really connects with my dad, who died a long time ago, but he cared a lot about justice and about people getting due process. And I thought, well, if he can put all that effort into it, the least I can do is join the ACLU.
The backbone of the organization is lawyers, and I'm not a lawyer. My father was a lawyer, and I feel that my interest in the subjects comes out of being from a legal and political family.
Yeah, I have more good contacts up north, but yeah, Lewiston Auburn has been a tough region for us. We're not really sure why.
It's a community where people have deep roots, are deeply interconnected, and they don't need you so much.
Yeah.
Everyone's got family, got memes and aunts.
We want to reach all these rural schools. There is an element where it's expensive for us. We don't charge schools anything for any of our visits, which I'm really proud of, but it does, I'm going to Aroostook County next week, and that's going to cost, a few $1,000s by the time you add up gas and hotel and all that. So there's a financial piece where the organization has to give resources, and that, you only have so many resources in an organization. I definitely think we're member-driven. We may be different in the way that we call on our members than I think some other organizations do. For me, I can definitely think of instances where I've had members connect me with a teacher at a school, which is fantastic.
We have such a range of different members, different types of people who are members of the organization. They range in age, they range in geography, in affluence, in education. There really is a huge spectrum of people, and there's a way for all of them to be involved in the organization. Sometimes they're involved by making calls to local government officials or our senators or representatives in Washington. Sometimes our members get involved by actually going to the State House and showing up at a hearing or showing up for an event that's built around a bill that we're involved in. As an organization, we've helped lead a number of statewide campaigns over the years. The marriage equality campaign, the same-day voter registration campaign, and those campaigns also provided a tremendous opportunity for our members to be involved. Calls, letter writing, volunteering, showing up for events.
Most of what I do is paying the dues every year. I'm not an active member. I sign petitions all the time. And I belong to other organizations that collaborate with the ACLU?
For myself in the organization, I don't imagine that I'm ever going to take a very conspicuous role. And I do see where they do attend to things, where they're paying attention to people getting due process, getting access to justice, not being proselytized in school. I always feel good about that.
They're very engaged, and I'm very supportive of their engagement in voting rights. The one thing I don't agree with the Civil Liberties Union about is control of campaign contributions.
We are responsible to our members, and they're members of the whole organization. People who are members of the Maine affiliate are also members of the national organization of the ACLU.
I think when I joined, I thought about it at the national level.
Yeah, they're both important, and they're very overlapping, because a lot of the issues that they deal with are national issues. The issues go into federal courts all the time, so even if the incident that prompts an action starts in Maine, it's going to end up in the federal system.
Part of what you're buying into when you come to work at the ACLU is you're going to fight for your cause, you're going to fight for your clients, you're going to fight for the core values of the organization.